Welcome to the Lost and Found podcast. I'm your host, Amanda. Join me each week as I rediscover my life's meaning, my passions, and my place in this world after leaving behind the only dream I've ever known. If you are dealing with self-loss, identity changes, career transitions, or you are still trying to figure out your life's purpose, then you're not alone. Join me. Wanderers are always welcome. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Lost and Found podcast. I'm your host, Amanda Powers. So glad to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for supporting the show. I love and always welcome all wanderers at any time. We are, in fact, if you are on YouTube, we are sitting in my living room today. I do not have proper lighting yet in my home studio, so this is a better view and a little bit clearer for everybody. So feast your eyes on this living room. Hi, Dirks. You want to join us? Oh, come on. Come here. We're talking to YouTube today, to Spotify, to Apple. No? Okay, well, he can sit right there and cry for all I care. All right. Today is Monday, June 23rd, when this episode comes out. It'll be Monday, June 23rd. And today is your Monday mantra episode. And so every week I've challenged myself for the month of June. I don't know, I'll be honest, don't know if this will be sustainable to keep up, but every week for the month of June, I have challenged myself to write a Monday mantra. So something to give you at the beginning of the week to set yourself up for success or to give you a perspective shift of some sort if you're struggling with anything. And I kind of give you the mantra that I'm going to follow that week and why it is significant to me. And hopefully you can use it to help yourself as well or implement it into your life in whatever way, shape, or form makes the most sense to you. So for this week, I really want you to think about setbacks versus setups. I struggled with this a little bit over the last couple of days. I was attempting to record with new guests, and it would have been the third or possibly fourth time that I had rescheduled with one person, and it ended up not happening. And I went out of my way to travel to do that interview, and it was canceled the night before very late, and I was frustrated, naturally so. And then I was supposed to meet up with someone for a networking event, and they canceled and decided not to go. And I suppose I could have gone still to the networking event, but I was kind of bummed out already with being bailed on for the interview and then bailed on for the entrepreneur networking event. And so I pivoted and met up with my producer, or I call him my producer, but my booking agent instead, and kind of just, woe is me to him and explaining why I was frustrated. And he helped me shift a little bit the perspective, right? That unfortunately, this is kind of part of the industry sometimes, especially for virtual. It's so much easier to just say no or skip things for people. But because it's virtual, you get the most flexibility. So you can meet the wider group of people all the time. You can bring lots of different voices to your audience instead of just expecting the majority of them to all be in person. So it's a give and take, right? Right now, while I have to live in a place where there are no studios, traveling to an in-person interview is going to be a bit more expensive for me over time, or at least upfront until I can start building this out in a way. But I was stuck, right? The last couple of days, I was kind of stuck with that frustration of thinking God, I'm being set back. Every time that something cancels or changes or doesn't go the way that I think it's going to go, I'm struggling with this feels like two steps forward, 10,000 steps back. Oh my gosh, how am I going to sustain my content, sustain the topics I want to talk about, keep momentum and not drag on. I want to keep growing, right? The whole point of the show is for me to grow and to move and to change and to take you along the ride with me. But how could I grow and move and change and take you along the ride if the people I'm trying to introduce you to don't come or don't show up or don't help me learn how to grow and change? And I had to kind of realize that the fact that I'm showing up at all, that's the key. The fact that I'm still here despite setbacks, despite things not working out the way that I want them to. If anything, this is teaching me humility, right? Like this is the name of the game. Sometimes this is just the way the industry goes, and nothing in life, no matter what kind of relationship you're pursuing, goal you're trying to pursue. I don't think I've ever met anyone who woke up, knew exactly what they wanted to do, where they were going to go, how they were going to do it, and then they did it and it laid out exactly that way every single time, always and forever, to infinity and beyond. I've never met anybody that was able to achieve their goal exactly the way that they thought that they would achieve it, right? No, I haven't met anyone like that. If you know anyone like that, let me know. Call me up. Would love to hear it. Would love to ask them about it on this show. But it was good to sit with my media booker, my agent friend, PR person, and get his perspective shift on this, that like, yes, today felt like a setback because things didn't go the way you wanted them to, but maybe it was actually a setup, right? Maybe them canceling on you gave you the free time to do something else for the business. Like it gave you an extra 4 hours then to edit, or it gave you time to see a friend that you hadn't seen in a while instead, or it helped make you more resilient, right? Like because it didn't work out the way you wanted it to, it just taught you to stay flexible, stay as flexible as possible, especially when you're in the middle of a startup situation. Everything's chaotic. Nothing makes sense. You're getting by on the skin of your teeth. Like it is, right? Setbacks are going to happen, but also maybe it was a setup. Maybe you missed that appointment because it wouldn't have been as good as you wanted it to be. And today was not the ideal day yet. So the universe pushed it forward a bit. Maybe it was a setup. You ended up meeting someone else today that could become a guest in the future, that will benefit your show, that will help you grow, that will also improve your life in some sort of way. Maybe we come up with the right kind of plan for you for your PR, and like today's the day where we can, drill down into that, something, anything. He's just throwing out these ideas. And I was like, okay, yeah, maybe that's a better way to look at it. So for, next week, like this should be the mantra that I use. This should be the thing that I teach myself or remind myself. Is this setback? Is this a setback or a setup? Because sometimes my setbacks can be setups. You avoid things that were never meant for you, or you avoid something that could have taken you down an even more crazy path instead of keeping you on your aligned path. Sometimes you avoid major mistakes that you don't realize would have been a mistake at the time, but in hindsight, after you've been, further away from it, you go, that moment in my life, that door closed, that relationship ended, that meeting was canceled, that I got fired from that job, like whatever. That moment felt like a breaking point or a bad, a really bad day, really bad time period, really bad whatever, vengeance from the universe or whatever it was. But maybe it was more so a clearing. It was something getting out of my way so that I could set up myself for success later, or I could say yes to the correct thing that was coming my way. That's what I would love for you to think about this week, is when you're going through life or going through your business, going through your relationships, things happen to you throughout the week and something doesn't go your way, or something goes wrong, or something, kind of tweaks you in the wrong way, like gives you just an off vibe, or it doesn't turn out the way that you would expect. Immediately you assume it's a detriment to whatever you're trying to go get at, right? Think about this setback is rather a setup. Sometimes my setbacks are setups for something better. Sometimes my setbacks set me up for success later. Sometimes this setback becomes the setup I actually needed. I meet the right person when I thought I was going to, and turns out they were the wrong one. Or I walk into the right room at the right time because the other door closed. See what I'm saying? So if something were to trigger you or bother you this week, or make you feel frustrated, or make you feel like me, where you take 2 steps forward to just take 10,000 steps back, sometimes setbacks are setups in disguise. Sometimes the thing that you think is so awful or so bad or so wrong or so annoying and frustrating and inconvenient, sometimes those things are actually moments in your life that are clearing away to give you space and room to actually grow, to actually succeed. So the next time something feels like a setback, try and bring yourself to a calmer perspective and ask yourself, is this a setback or a setup? And how is this setback setting me up for something better? And that would be the mantra. If you write mantras on your mirrors, or save them in your journals or something like that, I would write that down, that sometimes my setbacks are my setups for success. So think about that for this week. We have a listener Q&A coming out on Wednesday. That's going to be the Wanderer Wisdom Wednesday episode. So that'll be out in a couple of days. Since we did not get our interview done last week, we are going to have a solo episode with me coming out on Friday. So a full Amanda week. I hope you guys love it and enjoy it and have a great week. Love you, mean it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a review. Please rate, review, subscribe everywhere, anywhere. On Apple, on Spotify, on YouTube. All the engagement is really what makes the show great and helps the algorithm realize that what I provide to you is something that you actually enjoy. So liking something, subscribing to it, sharing it on your stories, sharing it with your friends, sending the episodes to people, leaving comments, any of that. It means the absolute world to me. Plus, it also lets me know what you actually like. I get direct messages where people will send me a DM that says, hey, just listen to this. This was so good. And I do love that. I always appreciate that. But if you could also leave the comment there or leave the 5-star review and let other people know that you enjoy it and why you enjoy it. And it helps them understand whether or not they would like it and whether or not it would relate to their life as well. So I appreciate anything and everything you guys can do for me on that front, because that's why I'm here, right? I'm here to share my story in the hopes that my ideas and my goofiness and my sidetracked of a life helps you feel less alone in this world. So like, subscribe, leave a review, share with your friends. I appreciate it so, so much. And I will chat with you on Wednesday and Friday. So we'll see you later this week. And remember, wanderers are always welcome.